Hello, everyone in Katribu. I'm Dinah Ventura.
And I'm Francine Marquez.
And welcome to Pairfect.
Hello,
Hi,
Dinah.
Francine. How are you?
I'm great.
You look nice.
Thanks. Must be the lighting.
Yes, lighting is important.
Yes, and that's what I've been learning during the pandemic. Like even ring lights right now are an essential.
A big thing.
Yes, yes.
So, which brings us to
Yes.
our current guest.
Yes.
Our guest for today is the operations manager of Azcor, which is the leading decorative lighting manufacturer in the Philippines. It specializes in custom decorative lighting fixtures for residential, hospitality, and commercial spaces since 1981. So, please help us welcome
Yes.
Miss Erin Zuluaga Clavano. Hello.
Hi, afternoon.
Hi, Erin.
Hi, Dinah. Hi, Francine. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
So, Erin, you're at your store, right? Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry. Yes, I'm at the store in Mega Mall.
Okay. So, how has 2021 been for you so far, January?
It's been good.
Wow. So, while we're fixing something, okay. She's back. Hello, Erin.
Hi, yes, sorry.
Welcome again. So, how was your 2021?
2021 is
So far.
starting off relatively well. As you can see,
Yeah, so one thing's for sure, I love the lighting.
Ang ganda.
Maybe some internet problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was a great.
The intro video was taken at the
yeah.
store yesterday.
So
Ang
nice.
ganda, di ba?
Yeah, yeah.
Parang
Oh.
it inspired me to start fixing up again.
Yes, maybe. It really brightens up moods, diba? Depende sa lighting also. Whereas before, we thought, okay ng light bulb or okay ng fluorescent lamp.
Very
Yeah.
basic, essential lang siya magkaroon ng ilaw. But
Yeah.
then, if you think about it, diba? It should
It matters. It matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, sige, Francine, let's just take a break for now and we'll
Yes.
return with our guest, Erin Clavano.
Magsha-shopping na lang ako!
Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Hello, can you get the following? One pink chair, bed sheets, na pink yung sofa, tapos slides, size 8, pajamas na blue. Oh, don't forget my...
Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Wait lang. Okay ba yan?
Anything at the SM store, ma'am.
Call to deliver. Call.
Kuya, pwede rin ba ako magpa-deliver sa ate ko sa Taguig, tapos sa friend ko sa Davao, tsaka sa... cancel ko sa Lipa. Okay ba yan?
Kahit saan po, pwede kami
Call
mag-deliver.
to deliver. Call. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Call. Hashtag 143SM. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Call na rin kayo.
Call to deliver.
Click, click, that's it. Never thought self-service can be this slick. Modify plans in a snap, walang hirap, it's a wrap. Just tap the app, now you can check, view, subscribe, renew. Help and support for you. Out with the Ring Ring apps are the in thing, you know what to do. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Self-service and easy to use, mas okay tayo dyan. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Instant response, no hold time pa, wala nang hintayan. Download Globe at Home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan.
Download the Globe One and Globe at Home apps from Google Play Store and Apple App Store now.
Download Globe at Home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan.
Good morning, sir. How may I help you?
Bakit kailangan ko pang pumunta sa bangko?
Oo nga naman, sir. Ba't kailangan pang pumunta sa bangko?
Why not get a UB app so you can do all these without going to the bank? Bank the way you live. Union Bank.
And we're back. I'm Francine, and this is Miss Dinah.
Ventura.
Yes, and we were talking to our guest for today, Miss Erin of Azcor Lighting Systems. So, Miss Erin, are you there? Hello.
Yes, I'm here.
We're looking forward to more enlightenment today. So, which brings us to our first question nga. How has 2021 been so far?
So far, 2021 looks bright and promising.
Yes. Love
We're
the term
looking
bright.
forward to, getting back to where we were prior to the pandemic, and hopefully
Because you know what? A lot of businesses were affected last year, di ba?
yes. So,
And people weren't going to the malls because most of the stores were closed last
so
year.
people were just fixing things at home with the essentials, diba?
Exactly. So parang this line of business should have really done better than others last year because
Yes.
people were fixing their houses. So yun.
But I guess those were just the essentials last year, no?
Oo.
Are people buying more lighting
Lighting.
systems, maybe more decorative kinds of lighting rather than just the essentials?
I feel like
So we're
and hospitality, like the hotels. So we noticed that this previous year there was an increase in inquiries for refurbishing existing lighting fixtures. So I think
So it's really
buyers are home. So I feel like rather than buying new, they are refurbishing what is existing at home. So that is a service that we used to provide. Of whether or not the fixture was purchased from us. We do lighting refurbishing, whether it's an Azcor product or not. So we noticed that during the pandemic, we've got a lot of inquiries for refurbishing of chandeliers or reshading of table lamps. So this sudden it became demand than it previously was.
So, Azcor, your store remained open or were you closed for time in 2020?
So during the lockdowns, our store was
I think they remained active during the lockdown.
closed because. But we have three stores. We have a store in Mega Mall, we have a store in Makati, and we have another one in Cebu. And then our factory is in Carmona, Cavite. So of course,
They have a factory in Carmona.
yes. So during the pandemic, each city had a different level of community quarantine. So it was a bit challenging that our factory was open but the stores were not. There was a time that
Cavite was closed naman.
Right.
it's not the challenge. Fortunately for us, like our store in SM's been very, very accommodating, and very helpful during this time.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the malls that continued.
So they
I suppose they encouraged yung online shopping, I guess.
Yes. So,
yes.
So you're also doing the new maybe certain protocols. Also, maybe how did you sell your items? Cashless shopping, online shopping.
So definitely, this pandemic kind of forced us to expanding online sales, which was already existing at a certain level prior to the pandemic. But we opened up our website to accepting online payments. And actually, a lot of our clients have also, you know, made use of this by settling all their payments or transacting with us online, which is something that we weren't sure people would do, especially like choosing lighting. You kind of want to be there in person.
Yeah.
So we really tapped into our digital resources. Like we have, fortunately, we have a lot of photos from previous exhibits and videos of previous trade shows that we were able to upload. So that kind of brought the products closer to our clients and helped in their buying and selection process. And they were willing to do it online, which was, I think, where most consumers are going now.
Yeah.
Like they appreciate well taken photos and videos, and this really helps their decision making and purchasing.
Yeah.
So it surprisingly, people commit to buying large chandeliers from just basing it off videos, which really surprised us. But of course, we're super thankful.
Oh, I was watching television the other night, and now really like what Erin was saying, people can shop via Zoom. Like if you just take them around the store
Yes.
with your
Yes.
laptop.
Like a tour, Zoom or virtual tour.
The new normal shopping.
Yes, which is something that our sales reps actually ended up being trained for firsthand, because a lot of clients would call in and ask if they could walk around with the phone so that they could see what new items we had. So it's really for our business to be as online or as accessible and instant as possible.
Okay.
How did Azcor come about? Can you give us a story behind it? I know it's it's really a well-trusted brand throughout this
Oh,
years,
thank you.
both by professionals and homeowners.
Yes, thank you. Azcor is actually begun by my father and his brother. They started this in 1981. So first they began actually just selling pin lights, but eventually they expanded to table lamps, and then it went to wall lights, outdoor lighting, and then it evolved to any decorative lighting fixture that you would need for the home. So a lot of the designs are created by them. But again, we specialize mostly on custom lighting. So a lot of designers and architects and a lot of the hotel purchasing will give us their designs, and then we manufacture it for them. So we also export to certain countries like Japan, the Middle East, and some portions of Europe. But in the past few years, the local market has been more active. So right now, our operations are focused mainly on the local retail market.
I suppose that's because of all the developments, diba?
Yes,
That boomed this past few years. So
Yes, I think so. A lot of commercial spaces and a lot of hospitality venues like hotels and resorts. Like the development in the past few years has been really a lot. So fortunately, we benefit from that because a lot of people like to source locally, so that I guess also for the after sales service.
oh nga. Does that also count in terms of price? Like if you source it locally, I guess it should cost better, no?
I think in the long run, it's a better investment. Syempre, I'm being biased, but it's a better investment when you do source locally, because the replacement, let's say if especially like in hotels, like you can't when they clean, or if you have guests, if you need replacement parts, or if you need to service the fixture after, were more accessible than as opposed to if they were to import it. So I think I would say there's definitely a premium if you source locally, but it's a very it's worthwhile premium that you'd be paying for if you source locally, in my humble opinion.
What are your no? Do you have classics and bestsellers? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
So definitely our specialization lies in our wrought iron fixtures, but we do have a lot of natural. We do have a lot of products that make use of locally sourced materials. So seasonally we do change, but I think the turnover for home fixtures is much longer than, let's say, fashion. So we do have certain classics that we keep over how many years. But we do develop new designs based on what our clients are looking for, or what designers are actually specifying in their requirements. Even for residential and hospitality, you can kind of see what the trend is, and we based most of our like seasonal designs on that. But we do keep classics in stock, like chandeliers that use antique oil glass, like you can see behind me, and a lot of the wrought iron fixtures that I think that we're well known for is what we always keep in stock also. We do have table lamps and floor lamps, but these also tend to change more over time. But yes, to answer your question.
Thank you. So you follow trends, or do you create trends?
We'd like to think that we help or we contribute to creating trends, but I think we're also very influenced by what is available locally at the time. So we have a certain material. I think you showed a photo of it earlier. It's called buwak. It's actually a seasonal material that we carry when there's a lot of stock of it locally. So that one, yes. So that's made of cane. So that is also a seasonal material.
Okay. Wow.
So that's a big part of what influences also our designs.
Okay.
Well, I think that was just a teaser. We want to see more. Can you give us a walkthrough of your product lines? But before you do that, we'll take a break from our sponsors.
Okay.
Bilang bagong mag-asawa, sabay kami natututo sa buhay.
Sabay rin namin inaaral ng mga bayarin sa bahay.
Kahit kami, nagtaka sa biglang laki ng electricity bill namin. Huwag pong mangambang maputulan. Sinisigurado ng Meralco na walang disconnection hanggang September.
Estimated bills lang ang natanggap natin ng March, April, at para sa ilan, May. Dahil sa lockdown, isang tabi to para hindi na maguluhan.
Ang May o June ay actual meter reading na. Kung May, nagka-actual reading, ibabawas dito ang huling reading bago mag-ECQ. Yan lang po ang ating babayaran hanggang 3 buwang konsumo.
Kung estimated reading sa May at June nagka-actual reading, ibabawas din dito ang huling reading bago mag-ECQ. Yan lang po ang ating babayaran. Hanggang 4 na buwang konsumo, walang labis. Tandaan, kung ano lang na konsumo,
Yun lang ang babayaran.
ako po si Mateo G.
At ako naman po si Sarah G.
G?
G!
And we're back. Hi, Francine.
Hello.
We are here with Miss Erin Clavano, who is the Operations Manager of Azcor.
Yes, and before we had our break, we were asking Erin if she can give us a walkthrough of the product lines at least. We have some pictures
Yes.
taken earlier, so maybe you can describe them as well.
Okay, sure.
Wow.
Okay.
What is this?
As you can see, our Mega Mall store is actually quite well stocked. So we do carry a wide range of decorative lighting fixtures. So when I say decorative, basically it's the decorative lighting of a home, not necessarily like the architectural or the task lighting. So we carry first items that are on the floor, like floor lamps, table lamps, desk lamps. And then we'd have wall lighting, so wall sconces, wall lights. We have chandeliers for the ceiling and pendant lights. We also have outdoor lighting, garden lights, and gate lamps. We do also carry furniture, so that's wrought iron furniture and cast aluminum furniture, which is also suitable for outdoor. We do have a few home accessories, some glassware pieces, but again, our focus is mainly on decorative lighting. So on the right of this photo, you can see our outdoor lighting. And then above is our ceiling lighting. We have chandeliers and billiard lights and pendant lights. So our medium is mainly wrought iron, but we do a lot of glass and fabric and acrylic and of course crystals and natural materials as well.
Is
Nice.
Mega Mall your largest store?
Yes, Mega Mall is our largest store. We also have a store in Makati along Pasay Road. And then we have another one in Mandaue in Cebu along AS Fortuna. And then we do have a small showroom in our factory in Carmona, Cavite that carries, we have our overruns there. So if ever you're looking for a bargain,
Doon.
that is the place to go.
We will go there.
Oo nga. Yeah.
So, Erin, how involved are you in the design of the product lines?
I think, to be honest, I'd like to say that I'm very involved, but my father has given me the chance to design a few fixtures, but I noticed that mine aren't very sellable. So I think my influence in the design comes more at the end, like in the finishing, like just choosing the fabric. But the basic design is not my forte, which is why I am more involved in the operations aspect of the company.
I see. And your father is still active in the business?
Yes, he's very active. He's actually he is the manufacturing side. So basically, all of our lighting fixtures and custom lighting fixtures go through him before they are released to the client. So again, we're a family-owned and operated business. So each lighting fixture goes through him out into the world. So he's very particular about the quality and the design of the product before it goes out. So if for anyone who orders a lighting fixture from us, it is 100% tested and checked by management before it goes out.
Galing naman. So since 1981, di ba? Parang
Yes.
I'm sure the pandemic last year was something so unusual as it has been for everybody. So maybe can you tell us a bit about how you coped during the pandemic in terms of, because you have manufacturing and then you have sales. So what happened?
Definitely one of the things that we realized with the pandemic is that, of course, your people are your greatest asset. So the moment the lockdown happened, it became very difficult for all the members of our different departments and teams to come into work. Logistically and also safety wise, it was quite challenging when we were allowed to reopen, like how to get them to the plant or how for the sales staff to get to the store. So that was like one of the biggest realizations that, syempre, the little things you take for granted on a daily basis, like coming into work, became the biggest challenge because there are so many requirements. Fortunately enough, our factory is large enough that, it's possible to do social distancing. So we were lucky in that aspect. And even our stores, because we need so much space for our larger fixtures, we were able to accommodate clients easily because there was adequate space. I guess the only major thing that happened as a result of the pandemic is that we focused a lot of our resources to be able to sell online, and to be able to reach our customers more easily through those channels, which was an avenue that we had already in place prior, but not as much as now, because a lot of our clients also chose not to visit the stores but still place their orders, which we are quite grateful for.
When you spoke about employees or staff, how many are you talking about?
So we have about 100 regular employees. The bulk of this is from our factory, around 80 of them. We have different departments in the factory, or different sections, because our manufacturing process actually is quite long. So just to give you an idea, like if you were to order a custom lighting fixture from us, it would take us around 45 to 60 working days to produce an item that is, because it begins first with plans and design. We create a scale drawing. So we make sure that the materials we use are suitable for the area or the need of the fixture, the area that is going to be placed. And syempre, when you design, you have to think about how you're going to service the bulb, who's going to be cleaning it after, is it going to be exposed to elements. So after plans and design, it will move on to fabrication. So we have a welding section, we have a machining section, and then afterwards it will go on to painting and powder coating. So all our metal components are powder coated. So this is like a protective seal to prevent metal parts from rusting. So we powder coat and then we go to painting. So after painting, it is sent to the assembling section. So this is where we wire and put the sockets and put all the electrical components. And then afterwards, it goes to quality control. So let's say if there's glass pieces, or if there's crystals, or if there's fabric, we put, this is the portion of the production process that we put everything in. And then afterwards, of course, each item is reviewed by the supervisor and management. So we hang it and we light it. So that's what you call like 100% testing, which we do to each and every lighting fixture. We hang it to make sure that there's no problems. So if there's nothing that we have any problems with, then we can already send it out to the client. So this kind of explains why the process takes as long as it does.
Oo, mabusisi pala, no?
Yeah, so
Yes.
a lot of skills are required, as well as coordination, no? Kasi it's an entire logistics system. But Erin, you had your learnings during the pandemic, how to operate, how to continue despite the people being in quarantine, health protocols. What do you think will be the future of Azcor from here on? Like, what are your future plans? Are you thinking of expanding your stores? What's in store for your company?
I think right now our goal is just to be able to stay open, which seems to be I think what all businesses' goal is now. So as much as possible, our business is reliant on a lot of our okay to explain, a lot of our clients are hotels and resorts. So now, when the pandemic happened, a lot of hotels and resorts kind of put a hold on their, let's say, renovations or their building, because I think a lot of them were not sure when they would be allowed to receive guests again. But I think a lot of the hotels saw this as an opportunity to renovate and refurbish their hotels while they had very little occupancy. So I guess that's the silver lining for us. So we hope that when travel and leisure activities and hotels become um, more after or this coming year, we hope that all our prospective projects will resume as needed. So that's our basically we're just trying also to find again, like as I mentioned earlier, there was suddenly a increase in inquiries for lighting refurbishment, which is something that we always did, but now we seem to have more inquiries. So we are expanding those capabilities, being able to accept more fixtures to be refurbished and reinstalled in people's houses.
Nice.
How are overseas activities? You mentioned that you're also exporting. You had foreign buyers as well.
I think we did have, or we still do, but I think most of them are experiencing the same things. A lot of their projects are also being put on hold or temporarily delayed and being pushed back to further dates. And when they have a better idea of what's going to happen in the coming year or years. Fortunately, a lot of our projects, the duration is quite longer. So at least we have more time to prepare for this. So yeah, basically that's the situation also with export. There's still people who are looking for it, but same with local. They're all kind of also in limbo as to when they can proceed with full force.
Erin, you mentioned a surge in the lighting refurbishment requirements. We're talking about businesses, hotels, properties, or homes, residences.
Actually both, but okay. In terms of the hotels, a lot of them have been inquiring about refurbishing existing fixtures, or some of them have plans to do complete renovations. So what normally happens is they will send a list of like their lighting requirements. It's either for refurbishing or a complete outfit of new fixtures. So their target is to work on this for the time that they have low occupancy or they are not allowed to operate at 100% capacity.
Okay. So parang I see a trend somewhere here. I'm not so sure. Diba, Francine? Because Francine, you have a lot of contacts in the property sector.
Yes.
I suppose trends are changing, no? Would you say?
Trends are changing. Even the way we look at spaces are changing. Especially, for example, in the office, whereas before they had the long tables, now they're considering how to practice social distance. I suppose the same thing is also true with lighting. Like the space that we are now redefining have also affected the way we look at
we design
we design lighting systems.
Right. Oh.
I think so. I think no one will remain untouched, even in the decorative aspect of your home or your workspace or your where you live on a day-to-day basis or where you go to work. I think people are becoming, I guess, more conscientious. I feel like people are are spending more for quality on things that will last them longer. Um, and of course, things that are more practical. So I would say it has a very big influence on their purchasing decisions as to if they're going to buy something that will only last them 5 years or something that they can pass on to their children in the future. So definitely, like that's the
Like
one
the,
of the
the
effects
chandelier
of
that's worth
this,
like
especially on us.
$500,000.
What are people buying? Are they going for lighting systems that are brighter, or are they looking for lighting that's dimmer or more mood oriented?
I think one of the biggest questions that we get is if they can use an LED bulb on our lights. So most people that purchase are conscious, I think, already about their electrical consumption, especially with everybody being at home and being as conscious about it and how much they monitor their electric bills. So even prior to the pandemic, I think that was like always one of the first questions that when they purchase a light, they ask if they can use an LED bulb, which is definitely the case. All our lighting fixtures make use of different sockets, but they are all compatible with an LED bulb or an incandescent bulb. So the wattage can be adjusted depending on the kind of bulb that you buy.
What about the designs? Are they going for sleeker lights or the more
retro.
luxurious ones to pamper themselves? I know some people have chandeliers in their toilets.
You know, my management always asks us that, like, what are people looking for? Because it helps influence or helps them decide what they're going to stock up on. And I always find myself answering the same thing, that there are really people who go for super simple, very modern lights, but there are always just still those who go for classic and maybe overly ornate things. I think it doesn't really lean towards one, because I think people's tastes are so diverse.
Yeah.
So which is why we always keep such a wide selection of fixtures. We have both modern and we have like classics, and we have very conservative ones, and we also have very ostentatious ones. Like, I think there's no particular leaning towards anything, but I think what a lot of what we normally carry a lot of big fixtures, but we find ourselves customizing them smaller, because there are those who a lot of I guess a lot of people live in condos now, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they want a cheap fixture or a small fixture. They don't mind a small one, but they want it to be of quality. So that's another completely new market that we have been working on or exploring, like to make condominium size friendly fixtures that are of quality and are well made.
That will last, di ba?
Yeah.
Yes.
What about your outdoor lighting? Are you seeing like maybe a spike in sales because people are also starting to come out in their own gardens or their lanai? Or
Yeah, for a lot of actually inquiries for it's not necessarily outdoor, but they call it semi-outdoor lighting. So it's like for their lanais. Like, a lot of our clients are concerned of, they're like, oh, I have an area, it's not quite outdoor, but it's exposed to the elements. Parang, what can I put? So we have a lot of fixtures that are suitable for semi-outdoor use. So as long as it's not exposed to the rain, it can withstand wind because the fixtures are heavy enough. So we build those kind of fixtures so that it can still sway with the wind, but it won't rock like a pendulum. So those are like the things that for me are so interesting, like how to build a light for particular spaces. So there are a lot of inquiries for the lanais or the
Porch.
semi-outdoor spaces of people, because people are, spending a lot of their time
At home.
outdoors within their properties.
Yes,
Yun yung
yes.
pinaka-travel.
Yeah, and I also know it's because people are suddenly rediscovering spaces that normally would have been a place just to dump some
I think that's so true.
stuff, diba? So now
I think everybody suddenly started cleaning out and rediscovering like the little nooks and crannies of their home.
Or some of them
speaking-
turn it into home gyms or what,
Oh.
because gyms are still closed.
Speaking of that, diba, parang you're rediscovering spaces. So, Erin, what can you tell the people about the judicious use of light, or the best way to, how important is lighting to a space, I suppose?
I think lighting really sets the mood for any space. It tells you what the space is going to be used for. So let's say if it were an office, then you're going to have really bright lighting that's going to make you more efficient. But a lighting, I guess, for your home, it's going to be warmer and a bit dimmer, so it's more relaxed. And even dining spaces, how well you see your food and how well your food is lit will also dictate how nice your Instagram photo of your food is. So I think lighting really has such a big role in every space to kind of just set the mood and dictate or show you what the space is for and the possibilities of each space. I mean, you can have a very bright light in an let's say a dining area, but if it doesn't make your food look good,
Sayang.
you won't. It's not the same as if you were in a place with lighting made for food, which is also actually. There are some supermarkets that there are specific bulbs for particular, like the meat section. There's a particular bulb that is better for the meat section than for the vegetable section. Like there are those kinds of bulbs that exist, which we don't carry, but that tells you that each space should be lit according to its use and function.
Good point. No? What about you? What are your personal preferences in terms of decorative lighting or lamps? Mga ganyan?
So the funny thing is, I got married 2 years ago, and I moved into a condo with my husband. So maybe I think for the first 6 months of the year, we didn't have any lighting fixtures, and my family would always joke me that you come from a family of lighting manufacturers and you don't have any lights on your space. And I realized that it's so hard to choose when it's for yourself. So I kind of what ended up happening was I ended up choosing our simplest lighting fixtures actually.
Oo, totoo yan, no?
Oh, I know some chefs nga eh. They cook very well, all the best.
Yes, that's how my family was liking it too. It's like
But
you
when they
look
go
how chefs
home,
eat at home. It's so different from what they
So
do
basic.
when they're at the office.
exactly.
So it's the same for like my family in the lighting industry. So it was so ironic that for me in my home I couldn't pick anything because I just couldn't commit to one. So I ended up choosing the simplest. And I guess for me, I chose the simpler ones because it's easier to clean and to service. I think that's a big part then of people's buying decision making when purchasing. Like how easy will it be for me to change this bulb after I buy it, or how easy will it be for my household to clean it after it's been installed, especially for fixtures with fabric. So that is also something that we always consider when we make our fixtures. Like, is it going to be easy for the client to service the bulb after? Is it going to be easy for them to clean the shade after? Is it going to be easy for them to transport or even to install, which is something that we also always consider, especially for our out of town projects. So with that in mind, like we build certain fixtures to be knocked down so that the shipping and transporting will be more efficient for the buyer, so that we pack it knocked down, and then when it arrives there they can easily assemble it. So that's one of the things that also goes into the design process, like where is it going, where is it going to be shipped to, who's going to install it when it gets there. Like we try to make it as easy as possible for them to receive it, even if they're in like a location that's only accessible by boat, or if it's a place that has a particularly high ceiling, like we want to make it easy for them to lift it up how many scaffoldings. So that's a big part of our engineering process, especially in custom lighting fixtures. So we always think about the space and the location and the servicing afterwards.
Good to know. One of the secrets to Azcor's longevity in the industry, no?
Yes. Maybe the
Oh, I'd like to think so.
after-sales,
Thank you.
the after-sales service also
Very
matters, no?
important.
Yeah.
So,
So, yes, Erin, sorry, I'm excited with all the products, services that we've been discussing. Can you tell us more about the is there such a thing as a pandemic-born trend that you're seeing right now?
Pandemic
Or lighting
trend.
is really a matter of preference? Oh,
You know, I think the pandemic-born trend that most surprised us, most surprised us was that a lot of our old clients were coming back and asking us to refurbish the lighting fixtures they had purchased from us before. And a lot of even new clients who they have fixtures that we didn't necessarily produce, but we are able to service. That's actually become a big part of a big part right now of our, I guess, the activity in the factory is we're accepting a lot of refurbishing work. I think a lot of people are consciously learning to make do with what they already have. And I guess maybe people whose budget for the year to travel is now going to be channeled to their homes. I feel like that's the biggest thing we notice, that there's a lot of people who are working on what they already have in their homes.
So, what would be your advice to those people, the ones who are fixing their homes, or even those who are building their homes now, diba? Lots of time in their hands.
My humble suggestion is if you have a lighting fixture in your home that you're attached to, or if you're sentimentally attached to, I wouldn't give up on it right away. Like it's quite easy for us to come and pull out your item and service it for you. So we offer refurbishing. We can clean, repaint, rewire, resocket, reshade. So you can choose what exactly you want done to the fixture depending on your budget. But if you want like a complete overhaul, that's also possible, especially if you're attached to the fixture or if it's an heirloom, especially like crystal chandeliers. But if you're someone that's building, then I would also just recommend to invest in something that will last you long. I think lighting is something you have to invest in because first it has to be safe, it has to be up to standard, and half of the day is night. So if you really have to find something that you'll be happy with in the long term, and especially now, like it was such a personally, like it was so difficult to schedule people to come in. Let's say if you have a little work to do in your home, because you're more conscious of who comes into your home and how long they're there and what they could possibly be carrying with them. So I think when people purchase, it has to be a fixture that's going to be with them for a long time, that won't that you can rely on, and you won't need us to come back to service it for maybe 10 or 20 years.
Mm.
So I think it's a worthwhile investment
Mm. I agree.
on good lighting fixtures.
Yes. What about, well, the pandemic is all about going to digital transformation, right? What about smart lighting systems?
Mhm.
Are we seeing more of that also as a trend?
Yes, actually we feel that smart lighting is moving at such a quick speed that it's actually quite difficult to keep up, because let's say you invest in a particular smart lighting for your home, maybe like 2 months from now it will be obsolete. So it's for us it's very difficult to recommend a particular kind of smart lighting, but I guess something that if you do purchase smart lighting, it should be something that you're sure will be compatible with your fixture, even if you change your fixture, or let's say hopefully the technology is still there like in 6 months time, because sometimes you'll spend so much on like a new smart lighting technology, but only to find out that it's like the phone, it's obsolete na after a year because they come out with a better model.
Yes.
I still go for the traditional then.
The bulb.
The bulb.
Yeah, I have a lighting system in our bathroom that's connected to Bluetooth and music.
Okay.
Lights
Yes,
and
those
music
smart
in
bulbs
one
are
bulb.
amazing
Yeah.
actually.
Yes.
You don't have to be home to turn it on.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we've gone a long way from the sensory-oriented lighting to the more technological ones.
Galing. It's been very enlightening for me.
Yes.
Na parang I just saw lighting as, basic.
In a
something
new
basic.
light.
I've seen it in a new light. Thanks to Erin. Thank you very much
Yes.
for joining
Thanks so
us
much.
this afternoon. Maybe you would like to share with us some advice or last words, or invite people to visit the store or your
Come
website
over to the store.
before we end the
Yes.
show.
Okay, first, thanks so much, Dina and Francine, and thanks for bearing with my poor connection here at the
No
office.
worries.
No.
I'd like to invite the viewers to come visit any of our showrooms. We have one in SM Mega Mall in Building A. We have another one in Makati along Pasay Road. And for those in the Visayas, we have a showroom in Cebu, in Mandaue along AS Fortuna. And for the bargain hunters, you're welcome to visit our warehouse showroom. So we have a lot of items on sale there. And you can also actually purchase on our website, www.azcor.com.ph. And you reach us on any of our social media channels, Facebook and Instagram. So we'll be happy to help you with any of your lighting requirements, be it for your home or for your hotel or resort or business, or any space that would require decorative lighting or maybe some wrought iron furniture. We'd be happy to help you.
Yeah, nice. Yes. So what I've learned so far is that we are the master of our own enlightenment, and
Oh, I love
we
that.
can make our brighter days ahead with simple things like adding a new lighting system, changing the mood with a chandelier or lamp.
Very true, very true.
Yes. So
So
thank you.
with that, we'd like to say thank you everyone for watching. This is Dinah Ventura.
And this is Francine Marquez.
And this has been Pairfect.